Welcome back. Nobody said we'd make it past 40 episodes, but here we are, episode 41, Mojo Sports. Joe, I do have some sad news that I want to start off with, and that is Rondale Moore, former Arizona Cardinal, Purdue Boilermaker. He did pass away this past week, took his life. So just want to say shout out to mental health, right? If you're going through something, let's talk about it. But just tragic to see. And it's something we don't want to see in sports anymore. And we want to give these guys all the opportunities to talk about it. AJ Brown came out with a video. He said that he's thought about pulling the trigger a couple times. So, hey, if you're going through something, tell somebody about it. I hate having to start the show off on a note like this, but we want to pay our respects to Rondale Moore. It's just a terrible thing that happened.
Yep. No, reach out for sure. Anybody, Will or I mean, that's just us, but going through something, reach out to somebody, talk about it. But I mean, for him, like Purdue, goated, the Buckeye killer.
Oh my God.
He was unbelievable in college, and then, watch him through his pro career. He had some injuries too, so I think that had a little bit to do with his struggles and stuff. And it's difficult, when you're at that height and you made it finally, and then you kind of keep hitting, with ACLs and stuff like that. So yeah. Sad
Are
note.
you
RIP.
for or against people sliding into players' DMs after games and, basically calling them out for not hitting their overs?
Yeah, I mean, against it's just
Terrible time to bring this up, Joe.
I mean, you can't have a public social like that. I've seen a lot of people like going to comment on guys' girlfriends or wives' posts, like old posts, and they'll comment. Like that's been a big trend too. So it's just like, I don't know. We're going back to flip phones. I think that's the way the world's going eventually, because it's just you give access to too many idiots with social media, including these guys. Look at us.
Yeah, guys like us.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody has a voice, and that's probably not a good thing.
Joe, on a lighter note, I was thinking about something. Does everybody do this, or is this just me? When I have to remember a gate code or a password that involves a lot of numbers, I end up just doing jersey numbers. Is that normal?
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty
So,
good.
like, if there's a 7, I'm just going Michael Vick, and then if there's a 34, I'm going Walter Payton or Charles Barkley, right? Like, hey, shout out the boy. But, yeah, I just do it that way so I can remember the entire code.
That's good. That's some what are they, the mentalist type shit where they'll like associate a name with a color, and that's pretty good. I've never done that. I don't really have to remember that many like numbers. I feel like every time I have something to remember, I just write it down somewhere.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it must be easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just type in password
in my
and
bank
enter.
account. Yeah. Password 1, password 2, password 3. It's like it's not that hard.
Well, if any of the listeners, if you guys do this, reach out, please. Let me know, because I thought this was just something everybody did, and then I brought it up to somebody, and apparently that's not the case.
That's a good trick. I'm gonna implement
Nice.
that. I don't know when I'm gonna need it, but I'll do that next time I'm thinking about it.
Joe, I would almost guarantee that I've used you to remember a password, because you wear 57, and when I first think of 57, not a lot of greats come to my mind outside of Joe Lane.
Yeah, it's me and Hey-Reb, baby. Best-selling jersey in the bookstore, and it was definitely because of me, not because the mascot wore the jersey number.
Those NIL numby would have been
smacked.
stupid.
Yeah. They wouldn't have been able to tell. It's like, why are we selling so many 57s?
You legally change your last name to Hey Reb. So then when they sell it in the bookstore as the mascot's jersey, you're like, hey, that is my jersey to a T. All right. I don't know where you guys got that from.
Yep.
Another story I saw, somebody on Twitter, they posted Epstein. I'm sure we're all aware of Jeffrey Epstein at this point. He actually ran a sports website back in the day. In 2010, 2011, and they posted the link. So, of course, I clicked on it, and I went to it. What a snooze of a writer he was. He was an absolute snooze. He wouldn't really give out, like, takes. He's more just kind of, here's the playoff race. Aaron Rodgers looks good. bang, next one. So, if anything, he probably already knew what was going to happen in these games.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
it might have actually been a really sharp source for info.
It was probably all of that was just code. Like, none of that was about sports. You just read a lot of bad shit that you probably weren't supposed to see. It's like Aaron Rodgers had a good game, 34 yards rushing, and that just means some wild fucking shit.
Yeah, 16 years old. That's what that means.
Uh, yeah. 34 rushing yards, 34 Russians. Like, yeah, fuck.
So you're saying that we need to dive in deeper. That's what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
maybe start deciphering that like a Da Vinci Code, because why was he wasting his time writing sports articles? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. He was trying to be like us, I think.
Yeah, it didn't work, so he pivoted.
My favorite sports writer of all time, Jeffrey Epstein, once said, Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of this league.
If he can't crack this industry, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's true. He had conquered everything else. And he was like, for some reason, I just can't connect with Mike Florio. I'm never going to make it.
I can't be a Carolina Panthers beat writer for some reason. It's not working.
He said, Stephen A. Smith is dunking on me right now, and I have no blackmail on him. He only bangs chicks that are over the age of 18. Joe, I have a new segment for you that I want to do. Reoccurring segment coming up. But this segment is called Shark Take. Okay. And somebody said that sounds a lot like Shark Tank, but it's not. I've
It's
never
not
seen that.
anything like
I don't
that.
know what that is. So the way this works is I'm going to give you a take. And then once I'm done giving my take, trying to get you to buy into my take, you then are going to propose to me how much percent of that take you want to buy, how much equity. And I'll tell you if I'll let you have that much or not. So, first take I'm going to start off with for my shark. I think Wemby does not have enough pressure on him. Wemby was the best prospect since LeBron James, and a lot of scouts said he's a better prospect than LeBron James. When LeBron James was a rookie in the NBA, they said, if this guy's not the best player in the NBA, then he's a bust. And they said, basically, if he doesn't finish in the top 3 all time, he's a bust. Why is nobody saying that about Wemby? Right?
Yeah. No,
I'm thinking Wemby needs more pressure. Wemby, if you're not a Hall of Famer, you're a bust.
I really like that. I'm looking at, a large portion of equity in that, because I feel the same way. It's like this guy should be kind of the face of the league in a way, but it just feels like he's going to end up as another center. You know what I mean? Like a well-known player that's very dominant, but he's not the guy. And I don't know if that's because I don't know why it is, but you're right. He should be dominant and the face of the league. So yeah, I'd like at least 50%. If you give me more, I'll take it.
Hey, I'll give you more. Hey, no problem. All right, we can talk numbers, but I'm not saying I don't think Wemby's the guy. All right, you're saying that.
I
I'm
am.
just saying there's not a lot of critics out there holding him to the same standard they were holding LeBron to at that time.
But that's why I think he's not the. If you're not getting, if people aren't taught, like I was at a bagel shop the other day. It's a New York bagel shop, and Stephen A. was on the TV, and it's like clockwork. They're just talking about LeBron. They're talking about how he's going to be a free agent in 2027. We're in the middle of the season. LeBron's well past his prime. Like who gives a fuck, right? Why is the conversation not turned to Wemby or anybody else? It just feels like Wemby kind of goes under the radar for everything. Not
Is it
even
because
just
he's foreign?
no. Look at Jokic, Luka. Like Jokic, you kind of know why. It's like if you ask him some questions, he'll basically just say he doesn't give a fuck, and not so many words. But it's like there's a clear reason why Jokic can't be the face of the league, because he just doesn't have the personality for it. But Wemby, I mean, he was a monk this summer. Like he's got a bunch of interesting shit that he does. It's not like he's not doing cool shit.
Dude, he said he's going to do the slam dunk contest next year. He reinvigorated the All-Star game this year. I think
Right.
Wemby is on track. I just don't get why nobody is giving him that pressure
Yep.
because it seems way easier if you're just going to the league and you're, hey, I'm already supposed to be the best player. I'm built different than everybody else. This is all the things that LeBron was having when he was in college, or not college, but in high school. But people were saying, this kid's a fucking bust if he's not a 10-time All Pro NBA player. And he went out and did it, and he still gets shit on, which is fine. It's not, but it's fine. Uh, but yeah, I just think Wemby gets held to that same level, or should be, but he's
Yeah.
not.
No, it's weird.
So
I
you're
agree.
buying big.
Yeah.
What percent?
I mean, I want at
Or do
least
you could
50.
take 100 if you want.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
give I'll take 90 so you can, keep some it's your idea. I don't wanna steal a business
Okay, I'll give you
right off the
70.
100. Yeah, sure, take it.
70.
I'll
All
take
right.
it.
All right. Next take for the Sharks. Eat this one up if you want. I think after seeing this year, Italy hosted the Winter Olympics and they performed better than they've ever performed for some reason. Well, no coincidence. They were familiar with all the courses. Every slope that they hit skiing, they had done it a million times. So, huge advantage for the host country. I think we implement this across all Olympics, and the host country gets house rules. Okay. So, if we're doing Summer Olympics in Brazil and you're running the mile, Brazil might say, "Hey, we think we got a better shot if we run it through the jungle."
Yeah.
So they make you run through the jungle. It's their year. We get to do what they want because we're already embracing their culture. We see the opening ceremonies. It's a big spotlight on the country. So let's take it to another step. Maybe you're a country like Afghanistan. He said, hey, we do not have a shot in this shooting competition. What if our house rule is just everybody's blindfolded? They said, well, our odds get a lot better.
Yeah. I like it, but, I don't want much. I'll take 5% because I don't give a fuck about the Olympics. You could put anything on my TV and say, "Hey, this is a new Olympic sport." I'd be like, "Oh, cool." Like, it's you ski around and then you shoot at a target, like, that doesn't seem like a sport to me, so
You're
whatever the
telling me
fuck.
if they did that blindfolded, you wouldn't be more inclined to watch?
I'd watch
There's
for
a chance somebody's pointing a rifle at another person.
until they bring back, the true spirit of Olympic Games. We're going back to, like the Olympiad and we see some people die. Like let's get some Roman gladiator stuff going. Maybe then I'll be if it's in we go back to Italy and it's in Rome and they just bring out some real gladiators and they got to fight a lion. It's like 300. I'll watch that. I'm in for that.
Electric. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure we're testing all the lines. None of them are on the juice. All right. Some of these foreign countries, you never know.
I got one here for you. I got one. Here's
Okay.
I'd like to bring this to the attention of the people. I think in the next, I'll call it 5 to 7 years. I'm gonna give myself a 5 to 7 year window. I think the NCAA loses its power as the governing body for college sports.
How many years did you say?
I said within 5 to 7 years.
All right. Sell me on it.
I think with every passing day, you've seen this thing with Trinidad. You see these little court cases kind of popping up. The NCAA has lost all power to regulate anything. In Mississippi, Trinidad wants a 6 year. They go to a Mississippi judge. He says, "Okay, yeah, sure, of course. Guess where I went to school? Ole Miss. I want to see him back for a 6 year." NCAA wants no smoke with any lawsuits. NIL is a good example of that. Basically, anything that goes through any sort of legal system, they don't want to, take any sort of shots at it. So I think they've lost all the power. The SEC, the Big Ten, everybody kind of just bodies the NCAA whenever they want to, whatever rule change they want, whatever they have in mind. So what's the point? What's the point of the NCAA anymore? Somebody else is going to step up. It's going to be like a live tour type situation, except it's just going to take it out from under them, I think.
I like the take. I'm going to buy into the take. I'm only going to take 50% of this take. And my reason being is I don't know the timeline. I don't know when it's going to happen,
The
but it
5 to
is
7.
it is inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could happen year 8,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So that's where I'm afraid. But I do think, yes, I think, yeah, maybe I'll bump up to 60% because
Oh,
I
yeah.
do think in the next 10 years it happens.
Have you ever seen that clip with Frank the Tank, Barstool, they were doing like a business idea thing, and Frank the Tank's like, Dave Portnoy said, how much money do you think you'll need, Frank? And he's like, 100 grand. And it was to like redo a website. And Frank was like, yeah. He's like, was that a wild guess? Frank's like, yeah, wild guess. I have no idea. That's my 5 to 7 years. I have no idea. I just threw that out there. But I think it'll happen. I do think it'll happen.
I don't think 5 to 7 years. Yeah, I don't think you're far off at all.
No.
It could even be sooner. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Maybe AI. We get an AI NCAA president. We just start a new league.
Yeah, I will buy into that take.
Good
And that
segment.
was first edition of of Shark Take. And that name is patented.
TM.
I know you guys were trying to steal it, so can't do it. And Mr. Wonderful, you can come at me, brother. We can settle this in court like men. All right. I know you probably want to go fist to cuffs in the back alley. Not me. Not me. I'm a lawyer up.
Lawyer up.
Joe, the world's on fire right now. A lot of stuff going on in Mexico. And it seems like people forgot we're supposed to be playing soccer down there. Okay. So can I get your point of view on this?
Yeah, I mean, my big question, are they going to move games, right? Like the World Cup is in, I think it's 5, 6 months away. I think it starts in August, maybe July. That seems like a quick turnaround from, your entire country kind of going to war with cartel. So I don't know if I'm a fan of XYZ team and I'm flying in, doesn't make me super confident when you look on every website and it says do not travel to X city. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they think about moving them.
I saw a podcast and I didn't know this podcast existed. So shout out. It was called Debo and Joe. Ever heard of it?
No.
Okay.
Am I on it?
Joe Hayden's on it.
Okay.
And then do you know who he does it with?
Debo?
You would think, right? You would think. No, it's actually James Harrison.
Oh, okay.
Apparently he goes by Debo, which
there you go.
Adds up. So yeah, they do a pod together, but he was starting his pod and Joe Hayden was like, yo, I'm just popping on here to let you know I'm not going to be on here. And he was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I'm in Mexico right now and I basically have 20 minutes to get on this flight. And it's like the last flight out of here for a while. So he dipped out. James Harrison visibly shaken up for the rest of the interview I watched, at least. I watched about 5 minutes. He was going through it, but yeah, just crazy shit down there. And I don't think they'll be able to play soccer games. And it makes you wonder, too, with the NFL, they're playing games in Mexico City now. If you're a super rich player, like if you're Mahomes, do you really want to go to a place like that? And the same concerns happened with Eagles Chiefs 2 years ago when they went and opened up the NFL season in Brazil. They were playing in Rio de Janeiro. People were talking about how much gang violence was going on there. And they told the Eagles players, don't wear green this whole week, despite it being your team color. So if you're one of these millionaire NFL players, why the fuck would you want to go play in these areas?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I guess time will tell what's going to happen there, but maybe they'll have another host city in Canada, give another one to Canada, or maybe they just say fuck it and let them play.
Advantage Mexico.
Yeah.
So, we will all have our betting apps out for the World Cup. I can promise you that. Joe, let's dive into probably the biggest news of the entire week, and that is USA men's hockey wins the gold medal in overtime against Canada. And this is one of those moments that you'll see for the rest of your life. Like it'll never die as far as our country is concerned. Back in the day, we would see Jack Hughes, who scores the game winner. His little brother, Quinn, scores the game winner in the quarterfinal. And these are the things you would see back in the day on a Wheaties box, right? You would see front page of newspaper. You're going to see it on walls. You're going to see it forever. And the picture, it's so damn good.
Yep.
His teeth are so fucked. They're so chipped. There's like blood, and nothing matters in that moment because you, sir, are a gold medal winner.
Yep. Golden goal. Unbelievable. I mean, just insane. Super fun to watch. Sucked that it was in the morning, but I got up, watched it. So yeah, I mean, it was electric. Not men and women took home gold in both. Like, I do think it's. I'm just gonna say a little bit of a Mickey Mouse gold. We didn't have Russia in there. We didn't have Russia playing. So I do think we probably still would have won with this squad and these vibes, but I want to beat the best, and now we're at the top. I want the best. So I think a lot of people calling for Russia and they would have liked to see that game, but US Canada was awesome, especially after four nations. So electric, shout out the boys, USA. I did see a bunch of edits which were hilarious this whole week of just NBA cut-ups, NBA versus NHL toughness, and the one with this gold medal match was hilarious because he gets his teeth shattered by the stick, and like he's walking out after and he's got a cast on his hand, like just fucked up from this game, and then they clip that with Anthony Davis hitting his finger and he's out for the
Yeah.
season, and it's like just a polar opposite sport.
Polar opposite for sure. And I don't think anybody questions hockey toughness at
No.
this point because every time you see one of these guys, they are missing all their teeth. You see Ovechkin smile. You're like, yeah, it's similar to cauliflower ear,
Yep.
right? We see those. So, yeah, unbelievable sport. And we're officially the champs. So we are the best at hockey in the world. Canada, if you want to match us, it's very simple. You take your best Canadian football players in the world and you verse us in football.
Yeah, imagine they just that would be that'd
I
be
did see a list. I saw a list and it was like if Team USA had played Team Canada in football, these are the teams. So for us, we had Mahomes. At running back, we had Bijan and Saquon. Wide receiver, Jettas, Jamar Chase. The list goes on. Then when we went to the CFL, we saw names like Chase Claypool. We saw, I think the quarterback was like Nathan Rourke. It wasn't even
okay.
like it was like a third string NFL quarterback as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a big talent
Yeah.
drop, which
Yeah.
also I want to bring up. I don't know if you saw this. Do you know who the number one flag football quarterback in the world right now is?
It's like that dude that was calling out Mahomes, right?
So he got dethroned,
Oh, another
and this
guy?
is by somebody you know,
Oh, really?
not personally.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know how
Right.
deep you go with this guy, but Rajon Rondo right now is the number one ranked flag football quarterback in the world, and it's so perfect because when you watched him play basketball, you said this guy is a quarterback
Yeah.
playing point guard.
Are they gonna have NFL guys in the Olympics, or have they not decided? Like, what's the deal?
I think the NFL guys want to play, but then it gets down to a point where the flag football community is very much, hey, we've been training for this for
Right.
years. You guys don't get to step in 3 months before it happens and
Yeah, but
take
they
our
kinda
jobs.
do. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, I don't think any American would vote against Mahomes playing in
Right.
it.
Like I don't think we want yeah, I'd like to see the NFL guy. I mean, they should have open tryouts, open tryouts.
What if
Anybody
we
can
did
come out.
open tryouts with a public vote?
Yeah,
America gets to
down.
vote on who's going to represent America.
Yep.
That
Or
seems
they take
democratic.
it's like the CFL where they take a X amount of Americans, you gotta take X amount of but then does Rondo get to just like jump the line, I guess, because he's up in the rankings, so he technically yeah.
No, he's the guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if I was Mahomes, I'd be worried.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. I mean, even if you put our flag football guys out, I think it won't matter. It's gonna be an American gold.
And this kind of goes back to my host country point, right? Because you're entering in a sport that you play that nobody else plays.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more of that if we have the Olympics in Saudi Arabia and then they have like these random sports that nobody's ever heard of and they post them a few years in advance and then people just try to get really good at those games like average people like me and you and all of a sudden we're in the Olympics playing, we're like doing goat wrestling or something.
They should have if they don't let the NFL guys, they should all join up and play as like a non-host country, like what they did for
Ooh.
Russia, and enter as like a non-host country, and then we could see a USA gold medal match. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
The Republic of the National
Yeah.
Football League.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no
Honestly,
way, right? Like quarterback, sure, I can understand that. You sling the rock around. I would argue that the skill positions are going to be the bigger difference. Like receiver, DB, it wouldn't even be close.
Jamar Chase and Justin
It's not.
Jefferson on the
It's not.
outside. Yeah,
It's
good
not going to be
luck.
close. It's not going to be close. I can see the quarterback. I can see it. It's not going to be an equal like this. Rondo's not going to outduel Mahomes, but it is a different sport a little bit. Like it's
And
7-on-7.
if it was, yeah, exactly. If it was an actual 11 on 11, it would only get worse.
Yep.
Once you get these monsters in the trenches,
Oh,
it
that
only gets worse, guys.
yeah. Then it's gonna look like the U40 leagues, the intramural guys, where they're smoking cigarettes at halftime.
Those are amazing.
You could
Such a
not
joy to
pay me to
watch.
go out and play in one of those for the fucking life. To put on pads and go play with, I mean, you're just asking for your ACL to get ripped in half.
With no insurance.
Yeah.
League does not cover it. I guarantee it. I haven't read it, but you can quote me. They don't cover it.
Insane.
Yeah, but something I would like to see in the Olympics is flag football, and
Yeah.
it sounds like it's happening,
Oh
and
yeah, it's happening.
it's going to be fun to watch, right?
Oh yeah.
Even if all of them are blowouts, like
Yep.
we're going to be on the good side of that, so that's nice.
They're starting to put I saw Nebraska, I think they were starting a varsity women's flag football team. Matt Rule like offered a high school girl like a scholarship. He was like, "I'm proud to, give you your first scholarship, first female college scholarship for flag football." So I think that's going to be like a sport. I think it'd be electric to watch.
If he's going to offer a scholarship, I demand he has to coach her, which
Yeah.
minimum requirement hours per week. It's going to be at least 20 hours.
He's got
So
he's got to
fade the
worry about
men's
our other
football team.
squad first. We need
Yeah.
we we need the actual team to start winning some games before he starts worrying about flag football.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's going to be a tight quarterback race between her and the kid we saw come in this past year. Was
Yeah.
it Latif or something?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're picking. We got a couple guys in the portal. We're loading up.
And that's the beautiful thing about the portal,
Yep.
Joe,
Yep.
is that you don't have to stay put with what you have.
Nope.
Last thing I want to say about hockey, though, I do hate the hockey schedule.
Yep.
And I get in gripes about this all the time because hockey will schedule games against primetime NFL games, or sometimes they'll just load up a slate on a day where there's no sports going on. They'll just have 9 games kick off all at the same time.
Yep.
And in my opinion, you could just make so much more money. Basically just spreading those out and highlighting your big games. But I think the glaring thing to me was that we're in the middle of NHL season and all of the best players are playing for their countries in the Olympics, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I don't. They're talking about going on Sundays now too, like head to head with the NFL. I'm like, why? Like, why? I just don't get it. But I like hockey too. I mean, I'll flip a hockey game on. It's an electric sport to watch. Like the Golden Knights, we were there for their first season. That got me, fired up. It kind of brought me into the NHL a little bit. I watched a little before, but after watching a couple Knights games in person, I was like, this sport's sick. It's like football, soccer, everything kind of combined on ice. Like, how can you not like it? It's fast paced. They fight. I feel like it's got a lot of room to grow, but they make mistakes like you're talking about. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think it's more of a management problem. I think the sport is great. The
Yeah.
sport's super fun. And we're kind of the NHL of the podcast group.
Yeah.
So that would be like us basically saying we're gonna post at the same time as Joe Rogan and Pardon My Take.
Right.
We're duking it out with them for good luck.
I like the NHL better than I like the NBA. I mean the NBA finals maybe, but like I'm more of a hockey fan, and I'm casual with both. I wouldn't say I know I know a ton about either. Like, I'll watch the NHL. I really won't watch the NBA during the regular season.
I'll give you my reason for why I love the NBA so much. It's very simple. To me, it is the most intimate sport in the world because there is only 5 guys on each team on the court at once, and the way the game is played, you get to see their faces, their emotions 24/7. It doesn't stop. When I watch football and you see Tom Brady take a snap, there's 22 guys on the field and Tom Brady's wearing a helmet. So you can only identify him really by his number. And I don't know. There's something about that level of intimacy as well as their impact on the game as individuals feels so much bigger than any other sport.
Yeah.
Where if you just simply trade LeBron and Kevin Durant to one team in the mid 2010s, that team is going to be loaded. You could do that in the NFL. You could say, hey, we're going to give you Patrick Mahomes and let's say Justin Jefferson. There's just so many other variables. It doesn't guarantee a Super Bowl.
Yeah, same with baseball. I mean, you could have a dominant pitcher and they would change a team, but not quite. But baseball's got the intimacy a little bit, just not quite as fast paced. And yeah, I agree. I have a hard time with the NBA regular season. I like the NBA finals. I like the playoffs, but the regular it's like baseball for me too. I'm not gonna sit and watch 162 games, but I know some people that do, and they fucking eat it up, and they're looking at prospects and everything like that. I just maybe I waste all my energy on football, and that's the problem. But yeah, yeah, I'm an NHL over NBA guy.
Well, football is king. We all know that. One sport, though, that is growing rapidly is the UFC, MMA. I shouldn't say it's a sport, it's a league. Okay. The UFC growing rapidly. And this past week, I'll give you a little UFC breakdown. We had Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez was minus 270 going into this fight. Everybody thought Strickland might win round one and then get drowned in the late rounds because that's what this fluffy guy does. And one thing people forget about Strickland is he fights in a very weird way.
And
He
he's
might
absolutely nuts.
he is nuts, and we'll get to that. But he fights in a weird way, and you don't know what it feels like until you really get in there. It's really hard to prepare for. And so that's why he usually wins the early rounds against a lot of people is because they have to figure him out. And Fluffy never figured him out. Sean Strickland wins via knockout in the third round, first knockout in over 2 years. So huge night for him. And overall, UFC card in Houston, solid, pretty solid. Uh, Joe, I don't know if you watched it, but basically a bunch of decisions all the way up until the main card. And then the main card just went knockout, 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 decision, knockout.
Damn.
So electric from that point of view. Um, but that is your UFC update for the week. And then I will say Sean Strickland press conference got cut off.
Yeah.
He got cut off. He basically went in there and he's like, I'm just going to talk like I'm on a conspiracy podcast or something. He just went in there and just vented about all the shit that pisses him off, which there's a lot of it. And this guy used to train at my gym. So
Really?
when I first started jujitsu, he was one of our MMA fighters and he was middle of the pack, like I would say upper middle pack. Like we had guys that were bigger than him as far as just followers and where they're at in the sport, but he's now ascended that and he is a big star. And I will tell you, it's a 100% real.
I
He's not
bet.
playing a character. I can confirm that Colby Covington, I have numerous sources that have said he does it for the clicks, the views. He plans out what he's going to say. I was not friends with Sean Strickland at any point, but trust me, I heard a lot of conversations just while I'm getting my bag ready and he's right next to me talking to one of his friends. Everything he says in his press conference, that's just the way he talks in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone asked me, they're like, "Do you think he's joking?" And I'm like, I don't know if you can call it a joke if that's just what you do 24/7.
Right.
Like,
It doesn't seem disingenuous to me at all. It seems like he's just literally saying whatever he comes to his mind at that point.
yeah. And he basically got cut off. He started talking about UFC fighter pay, said they get paid like bums, which I don't think a lot of people disagree with. The thing that got him kicked off is he went after Anthony Hernandez's coach and basically said, "Hey, you were grooming one of your fighters when she was underage. And now she's of age and she's in the UFC and now
Oh my
you're
god.
doing the deal with her." So
Wow.
he started going off on a rant on that and they just cut him. So which has never happened before, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned. Because if you know anything about sports, you know the NFL, NBA, MLB, very tight knit, right?
Yep.
They would cut you off a lot earlier. Once you get into boxing, these individual sports where you're not representing a franchise, you get a little more leadway.
Yep.
And honestly, these promoters like Dana White, they like it
They like yep. You get a
to an
McGregor,
extent.
you get someone that is self-promoter,
Yeah.
promote the fight. Yeah, it gets people talking. But then when you veer off into just yeah, that's that's
Strickland was
that's
getting a little too close to the Epstein files, and
yeah. But
Dana made a
McGregor
call.
had some shit like that, right? He was calling his other coach a terrorist or like his brother with Marab, right? That
I
was a
think
thing for a
Dana
while.
or I think Connor is such an exception. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
by the time he was doing that shit, he was the UFC.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was like, if we
Sure.
cut this guy off, we just cut
We
off
just, yeah,
our entire
he's
company
our cash cow. It's like you can talk
for
about whatever you
sure.
want if you're the yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, his that's what I saw from the fights was his press conference. I saw nothing about the fights, just the clips. Because every time he gets on around a mic, it's yeah, it's like he's he's like you're getting just whatever the fuck you want.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite part of the press conference?
No, I didn't know he got cut off though. I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I want
Oh
to see
yeah.
the lead up to the cutoff. That's what I saw some crazy clips, but that was like par for the course with him. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh man, but I didn't see the stuff about the grooming. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, you'll have to dive into that because he's just mid talk and then it just cuts.
Cuts.
And then he realizes it's not working and he just stands up and like leaves. It's great. Other combat sports news, we did get announced today that we're gonna get a rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They're gonna fight in September, Las Vegas at the Sphere. So huge event. There's just one problem, Joe. They already fought. And when they fought, the big debate was, man, wish we would have seen this fight earlier. Wish we would have seen this fight when they were both at their peak. And now it's been 10 years and we're saying, let's run it back.
Yep.
Floyd Mayweather, he's going to be 49 years old when this fight happens. Manny Pacquiao will be 47. And how much interest do you have in this?
Zero, negative. Yeah. It was cool the first time, right? But now it's like I don't know. I just I can't get into it, especially with the old guys. Like now, there's a lot of good young boxers coming up, and there's good fights, and it's fun to watch boxing every once in a while. But I feel like the UFC has ruined boxing for me. I really do. Like it's not. It's hard for an average combat sports fan to get into boxing, because I didn't grow up watching boxing. Like I saw clips here and there, but it wasn't like that. And now like the UFC is just so much more exciting to me. There's so much more danger. There's so much more action. Like it captivates me a lot more than boxing. So to see two old guys way past their prime, it's gonna feel like that Tyson fight where it's just like I hope we get a bunch of shit with assless chaps in the locker room beforehand because that's fun. But like Mayweather Pacquiao aren't those kind of dudes. You know what I mean? Like they're not really like Mayweather will sell it, but it's not gonna be any. He's not gonna look like an idiot necessarily.
And the original rumor was that Mayweather was going to fight Tyson. That was the first rumor I
Right.
saw a
I
month
saw
ago.
that one too.
Okay, and now we're getting Pacquiao, and to me it felt like actually a letdown. I was
Yeah.
gonna say if we're gonna watch a freak show, I would rather watch Tyson versus
Right.
versus Mayweather. Like that seems more entertaining.
Is it just a
So
payday? Like I don't.
probably, and it's
Yeah.
at the Sphere too. So they're gonna do a bunch of crazy shit. Maybe that'll be the most exciting part of the
Right.
fight. Also means the tickets are gonna be crazy expensive. And I will say, when the Pacquiao Mayweather first fight happened, I was only a year probably into my Vegas residency, and that was the busiest
Oh, yeah.
Vegas week I can ever remember of my life.
Not
Like,
even close.
the entire strip was packed to the brim, and it just wasn't even worth going down there.
Yep. Yep. No, I feel like boxing still draws a huge crowd. You get a huge crowd for these fights, and people love it. I just feel like is this one gonna draw a huge crowd? Probably, but I
Oh,
don't know.
huge.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out Latin America.
yeah, yeah. These
The
guys
last
aren't
big one
even
I saw
Spanish.
was, Tyson Fury versus Wilder in Vegas. That was the last, like, big one I remember. I went to MGM for whatever reason, and I got there right as the fight ended, and everybody was, like, flooding into the casino from the fight, and they were all chanting. They were like, um oh, what were they saying? Tyson Fury, fighting in a Fury Wonderland. And they're
That's
all
pretty
like
sick.
singing. And I thought like a full on race war was about
Right.
to break out because you see the people walking out, and hey, I'm just going to say, I could tell who the people
Right,
were going for while
right.
they were in there. And the emotions matched the descriptions. But I don't know if I'll tune into this one, but I agree with you. I think the better thing is going to be the antics around the
Yep,
fight. That's
yep,
gonna be the more entertaining thing.
yep.
And Joe, let's head to college basketball. This was a huge weekend this past weekend. Arizona, they upset Houston. They were 6-point dogs, came out, looked very dominant, and they only made 3 3-pointers, I think, which has not been done a lot as far as beating top 25 teams and only hitting that many 3-pointers. That's kind of what they do, though, right? They are physical and they're comfortable inside the perimeter. And Houston on a bit of a skid. They're actually playing Kansas tonight, Big Monday. So that's a huge game. Bill Self has never lost on Big Monday in the history of the program. And then the other big game we got on Saturday was Michigan Duke, neutral site, absolute banger of a game. A lot of tension going into this game, and ultimately Duke pulled it out. Carlos Boozer, he looks amazing. I don't know if you saw the tension,
I didn't
but
see the tension, no.
okay.
What was the lead up?
So basically Michigan reporters asked Michigan players about Carlos Boozer. And they were
Mhm.
like, how are you going to handle him? How does that look? And Michigan's best player, he didn't answer the question. All he did was he laughed and like he just kept looking away from the camera as if like I can't even believe you're asking me this. This is such a joke. And I don't know, it was super it felt immature, I'll
Yeah,
say that,
yeah,
like, he was, like, trying to make it but it ended up just being cringe, and sure enough, he hits a few big shots on Boozer during the game, um, but Boozer comes down the stretch that second half and basically takes over the game. Looks
monster.
so much like an NBA prospect. Everything he does, it's so controlled. It's so physical too. You just get to the point where by the second half, you're like, he's wearing these dudes down physically.
Yep,
So it was just a banger of a game. And does Michigan win that game most of the time? Probably. Like, I still think Michigan's the better team, but Boozer's undeniable. And once again, I just love the top 3 picks of this next NBA draft.
yeah,
And we can dive into AJ also. AJ had a monster game against
monster
Kansas,
game.
and
Yep,
AJ flexed too. He's like, I'll play 40 minutes. He
yep,
played every minute of the game, and he's not afraid to it. And he's creating a narrative because he knows it's him or Darren Peterson for that one pick.
yep,
And he's saying, I may not look as good, like
yep.
polished, but I'm the guy that's a dog out of these two.
The whole day too, every piece of coverage was talking about how good Iowa State was, number 1 seed. All the news came out, they released the power rankings, and Iowa State came in as that 4th number 1 seed. And then BYU just smacked them. Like, I watched that game. Iowa State was flat. AJ, he was dominating on he was like, there was a stretch in the second half There was like 6, 7 minutes left. He had a steal where he went down, reverse slam. Next time he comes down, dishes a ball, guy like alley oop type thing. Like within 3, 4 minutes, he basically took the game over, and Iowa State had no chance after. BYU looked nasty. They looked really good. That arena was the stuff behind the free throw, like, they got a
Yeah.
bunch of shit behind, it's really cool, 18,000 people, like, super fun to watch. I also like, Sinek from, Houston, he's their center. He's a fucking monster, dude, like, this draft class is gonna be insane, like, there's a bunch of guys, and we've talked about it a few times, but the top, like, I don't know, 10 to 20 teams in this March Madness tournament, it's gonna be fun to watch because there are so many guys, and it's spread out. It's not just like concentrated on one team. I don't know. UConn looked really good too. They smashed Nova. So this was like the first Saturday where I really sat down and watched like a full slate of basketball, and I'm starting to pick it up again to get my research in before March. And it's this season's fucking awesome. I can't believe I wasn't watching earlier. I mean, I can because we have football, but like
Yeah. No, I was watching the games and I was just thinking, if you showed me this 10 years ago, you said this is what college basketball looks like, I don't know if I would have believed you
I know.
because it's starting to look more and more like the pro game.
Yep.
When you see these players that all have their own individual bags, they've got ways to score from every angle, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable to watch. I do love BYU. I think they lost Richie Saunders for the year,
Yep.
which he was great last year, and so that's kind of why I'm out on them.
Right.
But you can't deny AJ. They have a freak center too.
Yep.
I mean, his shoulders are as broad as Dwight Howard's,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just think there's so many good teams. The big thing is don't get upset in the first 2 rounds,
Right.
right? That's what it comes down to because some of these teams will get upset in the first 2 rounds. That's just March Madness. It happens every year.
Yep.
You can't be one of those teams. You just have to make it to the Sweet 16, and then from there, you gotta beat the other big dogs.
Yep. I mean, even like the 3 through 8 seeds are gonna be nasty this year. There's gonna be a couple like high seed like I do think we're gonna see some upsets, and I think there's gonna be a couple Cinderella stories. I know people are talking about we're gonna get a rerun from last year where it's just, the high seeds make it, but I do think there's enough depth. Like even this week, UCLA knocked off Illinois after Mick Cronin like ejected his own player, yelled. Did you see the clip of him talking to the reporter? That was
That
hilarious.
it's one of the best clips I've seen in the past year.
It's unbelievable. He's like, "You raising your voice at me?" The
Yeah, for those of you
reporter
that
did not
didn't see
raise
the
his voice.
clip, he basically reporter asked him a question that he doesn't like, and he turns to him, he says, "Did you raise your voice to me?" And naturally, maybe the reporter did because he kinda asked what the question was, repeated it. Um, but yeah, he then turned the blame on him too. He's like,
Yeah.
this is being recorded, like,
It's on
everybody's videoing this. They
it's
can all
on
see how
video.
much of an asshole you're being, basically." And everybody recording it's like, "Wait, are you the asshole right
Yeah.
now?"
Unbel
But
It's
he did redeem himself with the game winner, Donovan Dent, former New Mexico Lobo legend last year. I loved him. They had a great squad. Now he's at UCLA, goes coast to coast, game winner, redemption for Cronin.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's getting fun. And like you said tonight, I'm tuning into that Houston Kansas game. That should be awesome. We've got a lot of good ball. I think North Carolina's handling business right now too. They're playing Big Monday.
Up
Um,
12. I took them plus 3.5, up
yeah,
12
that
on Louisville. And Louisville's another one, right? But Louisville's just electric, just a lot of firepower here. And that's what you're going to see when you get to the tournament. There
yep,
might not be teams, you might be focused on the top 5 teams right now. When you get to the tournament, you're going to realize there's 35, 40 teams that are deep and efficient.
yep, yep. No, it's gonna be. I think we're in for a really, really fun tournament, and I think there's gonna be not another perfect bracket. There's no way. This might be one of the hardest bracket years of all
All
time because
time.
it's like there's no way. There's just no way you can pick every matchup. There's gonna be madness. It's gonna be fun. I'm pumped.
We were picking last year. We were doing this. We just weren't doing the pod yet, but we were picking last year. And last year, both of us were pretty chalky.
Yeah.
And guess what? It worked out. It was
Yep.
a chalky year. I had a model running, and I'll probably get it back up and running for the tournament this year. But yeah, I think this year, expect variance, expect chaos, parody. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And Joe, let me ask you a question. I'll preface it with March Madness is my favorite sporting event of the year. There's
Yep.
nothing in my head. I'm a football guy. I love the Super Bowl. It doesn't touch March Madness because March Madness goes on for a whole weekend and there's always chaos. And even if there's dips here, you're like, oh, it's kind of boring. There will always be chaos. And in a Super Bowl, you can go there and get blown out by 40, and that's all you get that year.
Yep.
What's
No,
your
I
favorite sporting event?
it's March. Yeah, it's March Madness. It's just the couple days of wall to wall basketball. Like there's just nothing better, and they put it during the workday. Like it's I am looking forward to the day, and this is gonna be in a while, right? But I'm looking forward to the day when I go get a vasectomy and I can just sit on the couch because that's like that's the stereotypical thing, right? You do it around March and you just get to watch basketball. That's how much the tournament means to me. Is I'm already thinking about getting my nuts chopped and watching ball. So it's there. I don't know how you cannot love it.
I did it with my wisdom teeth sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
I said, when's March Madness? All right, book it on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
That Thursday, I'll wake up, I'm eating ice cream, I'm on a couple painkillers,
Yep.
and I'm not expected to do anything.
Yep. Yep. No, it's the best. It really is the best. And I uh I feel like this year is gonna be I don't know if I'm gonna go back to a lot of people do the underdog thing, right? Where you bet every underdog and you're kind of
Roll it
guaranteed to make
over.
money. Yeah. And last year, like it did not work.
Bad.
Yeah, you got murdered. So I don't know. Maybe this year we'll try something fun like that.
There were people doing $100 on each one. And they were like,
Yeah.
after week one, they were like, I'm down
Yeah.
2,300.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just you never got it back because there was just no upsets.
Off rip, not official. Give me your champion
I'm
right now.
going Michigan.
Ah,
Yep.
damn you.
Yep.
I would also I think Michigan's the best team, but you know me, I've been on Arizona all year. I do get worried about the St. John's thing because I loved St. John's last year.
Yep.
And then they just got to a point where they were playing a tight game and they needed someone to be able to shoot and score. And they were such a 2-point team.
Yep.
It's tough to come back. So I lean Michigan as well.
Yep, I like Michigan. Florida's nasty. I think if Florida or Alabama could sneak up on people because they can score. I mean, it's
So
unbelievable.
fast,
It's
dude.
crazy.
It's like it's not good basketball, right? Because there
But it's
is
college
0 defense,
basketball. It's
but it is
perfect.
so fun to
Yep.
watch.
You need it
That,
because you get the air raid. It's like the air raid of college basketball. It's the
yes,
same thing. Just chuck
yes.
threes.
Yeah, that Bama-Arkansas game last week that I watched, and granted it went to overtime, but the scoring is just the total going into the game, 183, and you're like, "That's 17 points too low."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. And you get the stylistic matchups. You get the big gym. So, the 3-point teams, it starts to
Mhm.
get a little harder to shoot. It's not a shooter's gym.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. They used
And it
the Wilson ball in that Duke Michigan game. They were using tournament balls. I saw they
oh, yeah.
requested it because it's neutral site. So yeah, you can't say it doesn't matter. The gym and the ball matters, and you get that tournament. The first little couple bounces with the evolution, it's a little different.
Feels a little different. Hey, we both know we both have tournament balls in
Yeah,
our homes
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
Shout out Joe. Joe used to work in game ops for UNLV. We would host the Mountain West basketball tournament, and this guy was just shelling out basketballs. I got 2 of them in my garage right now.
No, I did not. I did not do. I did have
Shout out Pew.
I saw this other account it's popping up on Twitter. Speaking of the game ops, but have you seen that account? It's like this guy rocks or that guy rocked.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they did a Ron Baker one the other day, and I had a Ron Baker
Wichita State.
story. There's a couple so the UNLV would host summer league every year, and I had two of my favorite summer league stories. I'd worked the summer league. Essentially, if you don't know, like the Thomas and Mack, there's a big arena Then there's a couple like auxiliary gyms that guys would go shoot at, teams would work out. Um, so it was the year like Markel Fultz was getting Fultz was getting he got
Yep.
drafted, so he was there. And so John Wall, my first story was John Wall, and then I'll go back to Baker. But John Wall came for like a private workout, and like my job was basically go in there, either rebound for him, fill up Gatorade, towels, like whatever these guys needed. And it was sick because they tip you, a couple $100 for your time, and you basically just open the gym for these guys, and you get to watch an NBA All Pro. John Wall was 4 hours late, and the president, everybody, GM was all there. They're like, yeah, like, there's NBA late, and then there's John Wall late, and he was out at a Rick Ross concert till like 3 a.m. the night before, and so I waited there for like 5 hours for this guy, and he showed up. He had a bag man guy carrying his bag for him. He shot
Of
for like
course.
30 minutes, and then he left, and he gave me $100. I was like, that's John Wall, sick. Polar opposite was Ron Baker, right? So this other guy, like John Wall, had a fucking staff that was there, and he did not really work out hard. Baker, nobody else. It was just him in the gym. He came. I rebounded for him for like 2 hours. It was a highlight of my life. Could not have been a nicer dude. And he just grinded the entire time. Was on time. He was early. He beat me. So yeah, seeing those two, like that NBA, I got a little bit of insight on the NBA, and it's like but John Wall made it, Ron Bay didn't. So it's just, yeah, it's crazy. You can see a guy in a gym like that. They both didn't miss ever. But
Who was better?
I mean, I can't really say because John Wall took literally like probably 40 shots, like he,
And
and he was
neither of them
hungover as
missed.
fuck.
Yes, you
Yeah.
saw hungover John Wall,
Oh
and you're
yeah, and
like,
he was still
hungover John Wall equals Ron Baker.
he was still unbelievable. Like yeah. Those guys, it's a different, and those guys aren't even like the summer league guys aren't the guys who make it. So you see like the 1-2 rookies that got drafted, they have to play for a little bit. But yeah, the other one was Kawhi. Kawhi came in, and he had like a presidential security team. Like they swept the building and like the whole thing. I was like, is a president, like what the fuck's going on? Like it was wild. The security for him was way off the charts.
What year was this? Like how known was he at this point? I would imagine this
It
is
was
when
pretty
he's
prime.
won
Yeah,
Finals MVP at this point.
maybe 2016, 2017, around then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So I think he won Finals MVP in like 2014
right.
when they lost. Yeah, or when they beat the Heat, maybe. So yeah,
But yeah, he pulled up in a couple Escalades and had, some guys with sunglasses and suit looking dudes come out. I was like, I don't know.
that's amazing.
It was pretty wild.
I will say John Wall is my favorite high school mixtape of all time.
Oh yeah.
Watching everybody has their favorite for whatever reason. Maybe it's because he's left-handed. I'm left-handed, but there's nothing better than the John Wall mixtape. Some of the passes, some of the dunks, and just to think you're like, this is a point guard. I don't know what it looked like at your high school in Pullman, Washington, if your point guard was jamming out on, centers, but
No.
mine wasn't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite to that level. Yeah, his college mixtapes at Kentucky. I mean,
Yeah.
John Wall's unbelievable. And hey, he won off the field too, or, yeah, off the court, going to concerts and still was getting it done.
Yeah, just never developed a three-point shot.
No,
Little Terrio will tell you that.
or
So,
timeliness.
no, well, hey, I can't believe you let Ron Baker beat you to the gym. That's pathetic.
I, I was in the other gym waiting on John Wall. It's like, hey, sorry, this guy's 4 hours late.
I've got a story from the summer league as well, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save
Save
it
it.
for next week.
I
So
like it.
remind me, I've got a fun one for you. That's one of the perks of UNLV is UNLV hosts the summer league every year. And when you're involved with athletics like me and Joe, you get opportunities to mix with these guys and get to run some programs for them. So yeah, let's dive into that. Last thing I want to do before we end the show, just a look ahead spot, some of the things coming up on the sports schedule. So NFL Combine's going to start this week, starts on Wednesday. Really doesn't get meaty until I would say Friday. That's when the fun begins. But the best storyline so far out of this is there's $1,000 bet on the line on somebody's 40-yard dash. Did you see this, Joe?
No.
All right, you're gonna love this. So Johnny Manziel had Diego Pavia on his podcast, and he bet him $1,000 that he would not beat his 40 time. So Johnny ran, I believe, a 4.64, possibly a 4.68. We can double check, but Diego Pavia said he will shatter that. He's going to beat it, and they wagered a grand on it.
That's fun. I really like that. We should take Wonderlic tests.
Oh, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
Done it before.
Oh, yeah. What was your score?
I
Or
don't
how does it
remember, but
how's
it was
it
pretty
scored?
average.
Okay.
So the way when I did it, the way it worked was you basically fill it out, and they told you if you don't know a question, just move on to the next one because there's 40 questions and you only have a certain amount of time to do it all. So if you spend all your time on the first 5 questions and you don't know how to do them, you're just going to end up getting a 0. Uh, which I think actually safety from LSU. I'm trying to think of who it was. Maybe it was Mark Barron. Might have been Bama or LSU, one of the two, but got like the lowest score ever. Basically, he just protested. He was like, I'm
Just put
not
his
doing
name
this
on
shit.
it.
Yeah, he was just like, fuck this. I'm better than these guys at football. I don't care if they can outscore me. It is hard though.
I
It's not
bet.
easy. And I've even since playing days, I've done it a couple times for like fantasy football drafts. We'll decide a draft order by a Wonderlic test. So I would definitely do that with you.
Let's do it.
I also heard a story recently that Joe Thuney, he just won Protector of the Year, brand new NFL award they give out to the best offensive lineman of the year now. He's the first winner, the inaugural. And they said that on his Wonderlic, his agent told him, don't get a perfect score. The NFL will be scared of you. Like they'll think you're too smart to play football. So he intentionally just didn't
This
answer one of the questions, got a 39 out of 40. Uh, which it just gets into the game of this where you're like, don't be an idiot, but don't be too smart. I had friends in college that said, hey, I really want to be a doctor when I grow up. And the NFL was like, I don't like that.
yeah.
The NFL was like, I'm looking for guys that have no way out. They
Right.
have to commit their entire life to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I would rather have a guy that has tattoos all over his face because he doesn't have a second option.
Right. There's no plan B.
No. So we get that for the NFL. Doesn't sound like Mendoza's going to throw. Likely to be the number one pick in the draft. 97% on Kalshi right now. And also saw Ty Simpson added 25 pounds this offseason. So
Jeez.
trying to juice up, be a big old quarterback. And the other sporting event that's coming up, I believe next week, is the World Baseball Classic, which I don't know if you've ever watched. Me and you don't talk a lot of baseball, but baseball season is coming up. And I did have a request for us to make predictions. So
Mm.
we're going to dive into that next week.
Dodgers.
Season starts in about a month. Yeah, pretty easy, huh? Not too bad.
Dodgers.
Dodgers, Otani MVP, one of their Japanese pitchers to win Cy Young. Yeah, let's
I
ride
may
with that.
just do a Dodgers every game bet and see what happens at the end of the year.
Joe, I did that this past year. It did not work out. I was so early on the Dodgers. I bet $100, lost it, rolled it over, and I rolled over for 7 straight games, and I kept doubling up. I lost everything. They only lost 7 games in one stretch, and that was the 7 games I picked to bet. And I will tell that story to the end of my life because it's just unfortunate. I knew they would win the World Series, and I said they can't lose every game for the next 3 months. And believe it or not, I was the only person that could stop the Dodgers from
Yeah. You
2025.
just kept
I
going.
just kept betting on them.
I've got a buddy that his brother does something fun that's like every free bet he gets, right? So you get the free bets or bonus bets or something like that. He'll put it on a future for a sport. So like starting now, he'll start doing like a baseball future. So I think maybe we do that because by the end you get, you know, you have quite a bit of a pot on like a Dodgers or someone like that. So I might start doing that for the Dodgers this year. The problem is I don't bet a ton on basketball. It'll be March Madness, and then I'll pick up a little bit of baseball towards the playoffs. But the summertime is kind of a dead period.
Well, this year we're gonna get the World Cup, so
Yeah, true,
that is our saving grace.
true.
Well, Joe, that's gonna do it for me, and I got nothing left. But next week we'll talk some baseball. We'll get into some baseball predictions. We'll talk about the combine, and I already know there's going to be a lot of shit that I'm not even thinking of right now that's going to pop up later in the week. So we'll get it all covered for you, but appreciate you listening, and we will see you again next week.
Yep. Thanks. And sorry for the missed golf coverage. We fucked up. We haven't talked about any golf. So shout out to the past golf winners, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We messed
Players
up on those.
Championship coming up.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
definitely hit it.
Yeah. Our fault. Our fault. Our fault. Adios.